what's up? It's good to see you. You know, if you've been watching my channel at all, or if you like the videos that I make, you probably know that, you know, I'm the kind of guy that, like, I'm a fairly practical person, you know, when it comes to like gear and when it comes to guitar stuff in general. I don't really care too much about, you know, certain kinds of like marketing and fashion trends and stuff. Although, you know, it's very difficult to distinguish from these things sometimes. Like sometimes you don't know if something is good because it's good, or is it just the marketing that has everybody tricked. But anyway, I've seen that brings me to the topic, which is that, like, you know, when I was a kid, when I was 12, I guess that would be in 2004. So at that time, you know, it was very common to see EMGs on every major guitar player. Like, you know, Zakk Wylde had him on his Gibson Les Paul, that Gibson Les Paul he had with the bullseye on it, and that guitar was sick, by the way. And then, you know, Matt Heafy and the Corey guy from Trivium. And, you know, because of that, that's the reason why I had actually EMG 8185 installed on my Epiphone Les Paul Custom. But anyway, like, I've seen that people now, like, people talk badly about them now. Like, much of what we know about things, like it's not just guitar either. Like with almost every subculture, there's like certain orthodoxies that change as time passes. And there are certain, you know, for lack of a better word, fashion trends. There are certain fashion trends among guitarists and musicians and so on. And I would say that, you know, the EMG craze was definitely one of those things. And to this day, however, like there was never anything wrong with those pickups. You know, like I have them in two of my guitars, and they sound great. Like, they sound great for clean tone, and they sound great for like metal stuff. But I've noticed the sentiment online where, like, people say that they're not that good anymore for XX reason, for such and such a reason. I don't even know, like, they just say things, you know, like people say all kinds of things online, and they always have these like very like scientific sounding explanations, or rather like audio engineering influenced explanations for why they don't sound good. But it just makes me think of, like, I feel like most of these explanations are just like bro science. You know, it's kind of like this, and the same thing with fitness, where, you know, you kind of just have people winging it. You know, they're just kind of like making things up. They're just making things up, frankly. But, you know, I remember when I was a kid, I was trying to learn this one song off Ascendancy from Trivium. I don't remember what it was like, or something like that, obviously with distortion and stuff. But I just remember it sounding like so crunchy and whatnot. And for that reason, that was what made me get the EMGs, because I couldn't figure out how to get that tone. And getting the EMGs installed in my Epiphone, that definitely did help my sound a little bit. It made my guitar sound a little better. One thing I forgot to mention is that I think one way in which active pickups and EMGs more specifically improve the sound of your guitar is that, like, through the higher output, they make it much easier to create solid pinch harmonics, like something you would hear in Pantera's Floods, for example. Yeah, that one right there is a good example. By the way, if you're looking for something to practice, get my fretboard memorization cheat sheet from travelingguitarist.com/fretboard cheat sheet. What it is it's all the triads, the major and minor triads in every single key. Through the octave mapping technique and through a couple other techniques, you can actually just learn to memorize not only the notes of the fretboard, but you can also learn how to improvise in a bunch of different keys by understanding the the foundation of harmony, which is the triads, right? The foundation of chords. You can also sign up to my forum at forum.travelingguitarist.com. There you can chat with people about guitar and music and whatever else you'd like. Pickups, I think, are like, it's almost like a 1%, or maybe not 1%. It's like a 10% action. It's like something that will like increase your tone by around 10%, but it's not going to like change the game for you. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be this end-all be-all thing that just makes you suddenly amazing. Let me know like what kind of things have made a big difference in your sound, because if you saw some of my other recent videos, I talked about how like adding compression with the tube screamer and distortion, that has been a big thing for me. And also like putting all the loud sounds in the effects loop of your noise gate. I find that that's made a big difference in my sound, and if I would have known that when I was younger, I would have had a better understanding of like how they get those certain tones, because I thought like, oh, if I just get EMGs, that'll be the thing that like makes me amazing. And I also thought that you'd probably be better off to buy a $3,000 guitar, when in reality is that you'd probably be better off to spend $3,000 on an audio interface instead. But yeah, let me know what you think, like what kind of pickups, and more importantly, like what kind of pickups do you think I should get for like single coils, because I'm gonna replace the single coil pickups on my Squier Strat over here. I'm gonna actually just learn how to do this stuff, because I don't know how to replace pickups, so that's something that I have to do, and I have to figure that out. But anyway, yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of EMGs, and whether or not you think the new pickups of the day are just like another fashion trend, or they're cool in their own right. Thank you.